All right. So after a long time, we'll be all getting back into cold call, videos because I'm not doing the cold calls anymore as I used to do. But I thought that, since we have like 120 cold call meetings booked, which I think will be of value to people who are not training with us in our team or not inside the community that we have. So you can also listen to these, and this can be your practice videos to always listen back to. This guy is like 17 years old. He has a really good English, basic, clear English, and that's what he uses. There's no extra enthusiasm, and just starting to learn, right? And when he joined our team, it was he only did like 1 week of cold calling, maybe like less than 50. I'm not sure exactly, but he's 17 years old. So if he can do it, then you can do it as well. So one thing I would like to focus on this specific disappointment is you see here, right? You see here, first of all, this was a call. They did not pick up, and then they called us back and they sent a message, right? And then he called back later. So the first call was on September 4th, and the second call on the day of the booked meeting was 21st of September. So don't just call once and then forget them. Call them again later, like call the same leads again and again and again until you have, the at least like 40%, 50% pickup rates from the list of leads that you have. So I'll just go ahead and play this recording. And also, I just hope that this webcam, which is not the ideal thing that I use nowadays, just sticks with me. Okay.
This is Jake. Hi, Jake. This is Nikhil. Okay, what's up? Wanted to ask you, Jake. It's been working pretty well. Would you be opposed to something like that? I'm confused. What's the service that you're selling? Okay. So how about I do this then? Let me give you a quick rundown of what it is that we do, and you tell me how this sounds. So like what we do is we first find home buyers according to your standards using Facebook and Instagram. And from there, we call every single person from your end in order to make sure that they're not time wasters and they meet all the criteria that you share with us. And only if they do, we book them directly into your calendar. So we give you as many appointments as you would need in order to hit the number of pre-approvals that we both agree upon month after month. How does that sound to you?
Okay, so in this one, whenever they ask a question regarding the process or something related to confusion about what exactly this is about, how does it work, or something similar to that, always get to the process answer.
What's the cost? Okay, yeah, I'm glad that you asked. So we don't actually have a fixed price. It depends on who we are working with. Do you want me to give you a basic idea of how we price some of our services? Okay, sure. Yeah. So yeah, again, tell me how this sounds. It's pretty simple. You have a conversation with our chief strategist. He's the one who designs all the campaigns for you. So once you specify all the requirements that you have, like the average time frame it takes you to close a deal, the quality of home buyers that you're looking for, he'll see from our end what is required to make sure that you hit those goals month after month. And from there, you both can come to a fair price that works both for you and for us. Sounds fair? Um, Man, I appreciate your time and I appreciate the show. We've stayed pretty busy right now, and we're having a hard time keeping up with what we have coming in today. If you want to call me back here, it is, yeah. If you want to call me back in maybe 2 months, we can talk about it again then. Sure, no worries. Can I ask you a quick question? Sure. Yeah. I might be completely wrong, but is it fair for me to assume like time is the biggest bottleneck that is stopping you from taking on more applications? Sure. Okay, and if I may ask, in your opinion, what would be, the most time-consuming part of the process of getting someone pre-approved, and what would be the most time-consuming for you? Probably the most time-consuming is reviewing the application and working with the client to try to get the file pre-approved. Or, like making sure that they are qualified or not, and then going back and forth with them. Right. Is that okay? So, like, would it be worth the conversation? Like, if we could take care of some of those type or some of the part of that for you. So, like, making sure that they are qualified, and then putting systems in place where we are going to go back and forth with the home buyers, so that you free up some of your time, so that you can take on more applications. And would that be worth the conversation? Maybe. Man, I'm open to it. You make a good point. This is generally not a service that we would be interested in. You've been very nice and patient and quick, which is great. I'm happy to visit with you about it. It's really not we don't do a lot of lead generation were 100% organic. And so it's just not a large part of how our business is structured. And I think that we would have difficulty becoming comfortable paying for, lead generation. But, I'm happy to try to give somebody 10 or 15 minutes to hear them out. I just don't have a whole lot of time to work on it. Right.
Okay. So, by the way, my camera keeps going off, right? This is an older webcam. I usually use this back camera for all my videos, right? So that's the reason you see a drop in the quality as well. But anyways, this is only like 4 minutes. It's halfway there, right? There's like a long more conversation coming up as well. So I'm not sure if you can hear it, but do you see like, there's a difference between when he started the conversation, the prospect was more like it was off, like it was not entirely engaged. It was like, okay, sure, go ahead, that tone. And now by this time, when he asked more questions and uh, dive deeper into this process, then the prospect was more like, you know what, you have been patient, you were listening, you were understanding my situation, you were trying to, get more, you have more empathy basically, and that lowered down the tone from the prospect side, and he was more into the conversation right now to, and he's like, okay, I don't need something like this, but I would be open to having this conversation at this point of time. We really need to, like he should have, which he's practicing right now. We are training that part, but he needs to disqualify more, like ask more disqualifying questions so that we don't, like none of them, not they nor me on the sales call, we don't waste our time, right? So that is more important right now moving forward. Of course, right now we need as many sales calls as possible so that we can also understand the market more. I can have more practice, but ideally at this point, you should ideally ask more disqualifying questions and then turn down the prospect as much as possible. And then if they are like, what, no, that is not exactly what I said, I think we have something here and there, we have a gap, but it's not as important to fix right now. And then we actually understand the situation and then face the meeting or disqualify them.
Yeah, Jake, by the way, I really appreciate you being transparent with me. It gives me a lot of clarity, driving this conversation. And like, I 100% agree with you. Like, to be honest, I also feel like leads are a waste of time for everyone involved, because as long as they're not converting into loans for you, you don't get paid, right? So lead generation is definitely a part of the process, but like I wouldn't identify ourselves as like a lead gen company. So like what we do is the first month anyways, it's like a trial period where we guarantee at least 5 applications. So we like to underpromise and over-deliver. But on general, we're going to close at least 1 loan from those 5 applications. And again, we underpromise. So from there, after a month, we can again revisit and look at the metrics and see if, okay, is this something that is making sense for you ROI-wise? And if it is, then we can, pour more fuel on the fire and get you to the point where you eventually want to be. So would that be something worth looking at for 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, sure. I don't have time today to do that, but I'd be happy to set up something on the calendar. Is this is this geofence? Like, is this where geographically, where would the leads come from?
Okay, so like what we do is we use Facebook and Instagram. So we can run advertisements in your area. So like, may I ask, like, where are you guys based?
We're in Central area.
Okay, so if you prefer local, if you want to work with people locally, you can just give us those zip codes and we can run ads accordingly. So it's like with Facebook and Instagram, you can run ads in any of the US states, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay, sure.
This part of the conversation, now Nikhil is like, really moving up the ladder in terms of the authority, and the prospect is more into this conversation now compared to the initial stage. And now it's like still 2.3 minutes left, 2.5 minutes. So, that's the difference, right? When you have question-based frameworks, you dig deeper instead of just going through the scripts, right? Not just following a script that, hey, step 1, step 2, step 3, ask this, ask this, ask this. You'll not get meetings. And even if you get meetings, that's like, there's no connection and you're not developing a skill. But right now, this guy, Nikhil, I want him to learn more and more into this scenarios. And then, that way he can practice sales from the cold calling side, appointment setting side, and he can understand psychology, and then he can become a sales rep himself moving forward for our company as well. So I'm preparing him for that as well, right? Anyone in this ecosystem, we always want to develop skills and level up themselves. So this was really, now look at him, right? look at him, like, the question he's asking, the way he's speaking it's amazing.
Are you going to be working?
Hop off the phone. I'll
Yeah.
be working tomorrow.
Let me see. You're in the time zone, right? Okay. Do you have time on Monday? Let me see, 1 p.m.
I can try to do one. Yeah, I'm sure I can do 1 p.m. on Monday. Will you call me at that time?
It's going to be a Zoom call so that we can share the screen and show you some of the CRMs of our clients, the people that we're working with. Would that be okay?
That's fine. Need to restrict this to at least to no more than 30 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, sure. No worries. It's usually 15 to 20 minutes. It's like, we're not going to keep you hostage if you want to hop off. If you want to stay for longer, it can go for 40 minutes. Okay, no worries. What would be the best email for me to send you the confirmation and the invite?
.com.
Perfect. I have to ask you this, Jake. Is there like any reason you could think off the top of your head why you won't be able to make this meeting?
Probably being stuck on the phone with clients. I've missed 3 phone calls since we've been on the phone today. Just this 5-minute call. So that would be the main reason.
That's the nature of the business. So like if anything comes up, if an application comes up last minute, you can, reply to one of our text or email confirmation and we can always reschedule.
You bet.
Right. And one last thing, Jake, like I usually do this to make things easier for people. It's like give them a call 1 hour before the meeting to remind them. Would that be okay?
Probably would be best via text message. If you can text me, I think that would be ideal. But yeah, sure, that'd be great.
Okay, you'll anyways be receiving text and email confirmation. So it makes my job easier if you don't want the phone call, to be honest.
Drop there.
Understand.
Okay, yeah. Appreciate your time, Jake. Have a great weekend and talk to you on Monday.
Thanks, man.
Love
You
it.
too. See you.
Thanks.
Love it. See, the thing is that I'm proud of the team that I got, right? You can see it from my face. But anyways, getting back to the technicalities, like to sum it up, right? You see, there is question-based framework. Asking questions is always meaningful. That brings out the essence of the cold calls, right? So see, the only thing that I know so far, I've closed only 10 deals, almost like close to 10 deals in the that too with a trial period offer, right? So not all 10 deals are entirely closed. There's like 3 more in the pipeline, which is about to close. There's like compliance stuff and stuff like that need to take care of. But cold calling is something that I have absolutely mastered, right? So me, myself, I taught Jan as well. I taught community members in February, March, April, booked like 150 there. And then these guys have booked like 120 coming in absolutely raw, new to this scenario, right? And now we are getting 2 more people there to build this stuff up. So, this is something that I wanted to, share this with you guys so that you can build this for yourself, the skill, develop the skill yourself. Instead of me having to train one-on-one with everyone, I can just share these videos with you. And that way you can also, listen to this again and again and again. And improve yourself. And you see, like, there's a very important common question that comes up is accent a very important factor, right? You see here, he doesn't have a really good accent, like Western accent. It's very simple. Like, this is a very clear, concise accent. It's a clear communication. He doesn't have a thick accent, which is difficult for them to understand. He has a simple, smooth accent, which is easy to understand. And that is what matters. If you have proper questions and easier, clear communication, that's enough. All right.